Hello, I'm Tim Brick, the Executive Director of Stewards of the Arroyo Seco. There's been a long history of people working to preserve and protect the natural character of the Arroyo Seco. Let's take a look at one of the most important turning points in that long, venerable tradition. One of the most popular spots in the Arroyo Seco is the Lower Arroyo, just south of the Colorado Street Bridge down to the South Pasadena boundary. In recent years, there's been quite a buildup of brush, and the small streams beside the flood channel have become clogged and stagnant. After the Eaton fire, many neighbors have raised concerns about the potential for wildfires in the arroyo. To understand how the lower arroyo got that way, let's take a look at its often forgotten history. Let's delve into the Lower Arroyo low-flow stream restoration project, a pioneering restoration initiative from the 1990s that continues to offer valuable insights for addressing today's ecological challenges. Lower Arroyo Park is located in the southwest corner of Pasadena, just northeast of Los Angeles. The Stream Restoration Project was a mitigation program to compensate for the expansion of Browning Ferris Industries' Sunshine Canyon landfill in the San Fernando Valley. The Arroyo Seco, a key tributary of the Los Angeles River, is a unique natural stream and watershed that connects the San Gabriel Mountains to downtown Los Angeles. Its journey begins high in the Angeles National Forest near Mount Wilson, flows 6 miles west, then turns south to traverse the urban plain in the communities of La Cañada, Altadena, Pasadena, South Pasadena, and northeast Los Angeles. The arroyo, heralded as the most celebrated canyon in Southern California, holds a special place in our region's history and culture. It's played a key role in shaping our community. Today, the canyon is particularly important because it is the best prospect for restoring the endangered Southern California steelhead. Although the passage of native trout has been blocked by human development and flood facilities, today there are still several thousand rainbow trout that can be transformed into steelhead if they can reach the Pacific Ocean through the Arroyo Seco and the Los Angeles River. This map of western Pasadena shows the location of the Lower Arroyo in relation to other landmarks along the arroyo. The Lower Arroyo is the area of the stream and canyon from the Colorado Street Bridge to the South Pasadena city boundary. On the right, you can see an aerial view of the wild, natural Arroyo Seco about 1920. To the left, you can see the Parker-Mayberry Bridge beneath the historic Colorado Street Bridge. The long descending channel on the right is the bottom of what old-timers lovingly refer to as the slime slide. It was great fun to slide down the ramp into the flood channel below. The slime slide diverts stream flow from the natural or unchannelized arroyo, which ranges from the Holly Street Bridge past the 134 Freeway Bridge down to the Colorado Street Bridge. The natural section of the Arroyo Seco is an undeniable testament to the fact that it is not necessary to concretize all of the Arroyo Seco. The picture on the right shows the grate at the inlet of one of the two culverts or pipes that convey stream flow from the unchannelized area above to the low-flow streams on both sides of the flood channel to the south. Here is a cross-sectional view of the composition of the low-flow streams. The streams vary in width from 30 to 70 feet wide. During construction, bulldozers dug out the stream zones and backfilled them with compacted natural material, providing erosion protection along the sides. The crew placed a prefabricated clay liner at the bottom of the stream to ensure sufficient moisture to support the riparian vegetation. The clay liner is manufactured of bentonite covered by a thin geotextile material that limits and blocks any percolation below the stream. This diagram illustrates the flow pattern of the low-flow streams. Just above the Lower Arroyo, the stream zone is natural and was never lined with concrete. The slime slide redirects the main flow of the arroyo into the long concrete channel built in 1948. On both sides of the diversion structure, water flows from the subsurface vaults near the Colorado Street Bridge through two long pipes to weirs south of the bridge, which collect the water and direct it into the low-flow stream beds, where it feeds the riparian habitat of willows, mulefat, and sycamore trees. The low-flow streams are designed to only allow 3 cubic feet per second of water to flow in them. Here is the stream design. This view is from the east side, looking west on the top. The north is on the right as the stream flows south to the La Loma Bridge, now known as the John Vandekamp Bridge. The stream flows in a sinewy fashion typical of a natural stream hydrology. The stream re-enters the flood channel just above the pedestrian bridge or access road. On the east side, the stream flows from a weir beneath the Colorado Street Bridge and then divides into 2 branches as it approaches the casting pond and the parking area in the Lower Arroyo. The 2 branches come together as they approach the knoll beneath the bird sanctuary, where it flows back into the flood channel. The BFI crew revegetated the 8-area site where the archery range is located with native trees and shrubs, but did not include a low-flow stream. Planners conducted careful hydrological studies to understand the variations in stream flow and assess the potential impacts on plants, erosion, and sediment buildup. Leading subcontractors included Harza Engineering, Harding Lawson Associates, and Ralph Osterling. Here you can see the early growth of the riparian species on both sides of the channel, as seen from the west side of the arroyo, looking south towards La Casita del Arroyo. This is the view of the completed project from the Colorado Street Bridge. Lush riparian habitat thrives on both sides of the flood channel. The 40-acre stretch of the arroyo south of the Colorado Street Bridge was filled with lush riparian habitat and low-flow streams, replacing the desiccated terrain that had been robbed of its natural vitality when the Los Angeles County Flood Control District built the flood channel after World War II. BFI did its job, spending more than $5.4 million in 1990 dollars to complete the restoration program. They also maintained the streams and habitat for 5 years after implementation. Pasadena agreed to take responsibility for maintenance after that. The low-flow stream restoration program serves as a lasting memorial to Arthur Jokola's vision. Professor Jokola had been involved in the master plan for the Lower Arroyo Seco, which was developed by students from the graduate landscape architecture program at Cal Poly in 1988. In 1990, he convinced Browning Ferris Industries, BFI, that the Arroyo Seco would be a great site for a stream restoration project to meet the environmental mitigation requirements for BFI's expansion of the Sunshine Canyon landfill above the Granada Hills in San Fernando Valley. Arthur and the stewards of the arroyo worked diligently to build community support and implement the project. The restored oak woodland terraces and low-flow streams were finally completed in 1997. The 40-acre stretch of the arroyo south of the Colorado Street Bridge was filled with lush riparian habitat and low-flow streams, replacing the desiccated terrain that had been robbed of its natural vitality when the Los Angeles County Flood Control District built the flood channel after World War II. Arthur Jokula always saw the low-flow stream restoration program as just the beginning of a restoration that would be completed only when the concrete channel in that area is removed and a natural stream is restored. Dr. Diane Filibosian, an educator and community leader who lived on the rim of the Arroyo, was the chair of the Arroyo Seco Foundation and helped build support for the project. She led the closing celebration with a moving poem. In 2001, 4 years after the project was completed, graduate students from the University of California at Berkeley landscape program conducted a perceptive analysis of the low-flow streams and the habitats and environmental benefits that the project had produced. They noted the project's significant benefits, but ultimately concluded that it was a missed opportunity because it did not restore the geomorphic and hydrologic processes that sustain long-term stream restoration. The program was a historical advance in Southern California stream management. Still, it failed to address the flood channel that had wrought such terrible destruction to the natural conditions in the Lower Arroyo. They stated that removing the flood channel altogether would be the best way to restore the Arroyo Seco, and it is still possible. During the construction period, Pasadena developed a Lower Arroyo master plan through a series of workshops attended by hundreds of residents and community organizations. Landscape architect Bob Takata spearheaded the process. In 1997, the Pasadena City Council adopted the plan and subsequently added it to the Arroyo Seco master plan, which was approved in 2003. The Lower Arroyo master plan, which still remains in effect, establishes a cohesive vision for the Lower Arroyo and for the restoration of the entire Arroyo Seco. It states Pasadena staff should work aggressively with the Los Angeles County Department of Public Works to investigate the feasibility of and advocate for the modification or removal of the concrete channel. It also states that the feasibility of modifying the concrete channel will be pursued aggressively with the county, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and other involved stakeholders. The Parks and Recreation Commission concurred and added that eliminating the concrete channel between the Colorado and the La Loma Bridge remains the highest priority. The BFI project should be viewed as the initial step towards the restoration of the Lower Arroyo to its more natural state, emphasizing the increased development of wetlands. There is no question that the low-flow stream restoration has brought tremendous benefits to our region. Healthy riparian and sage scrub habitat now fill the Lower Arroyo. It's a far more enjoyable place to enjoy nature. It's been a model for other stream restoration projects in Los Angeles and throughout Southern California. However, there is no denying that the Lower Arroyo master plan has been ignored and the Lower Arroyo has been neglected. The low-flow streams are clogged with sediment and debris, invasive species have moved in, maintenance has often been lagging, arroyo planning has been privatized with little or no neighborhood or community involvement. The buildup of brush and invasive species has fueled concerns about potential fires. There hasn't been a healthy flow in the low-flow streams for many years. And Pasadena's staff and political leaders can hardly be accused of working aggressively to remove the flood channel. In 2025, 30 years after a trash company restored and beautified the beloved Lower Arroyo, there are still unanswered questions about the low-flow stream restoration project and the future of the arroyo that need to be answered. Two key questions stand out. Why has Pasadena failed to comply with its legally required maintenance commitment for the low-flow streams in the Lower Arroyo? And why has Pasadena failed to comply with the Lower Arroyo Master Plan mandate to work aggressively with the Los Angeles County Department of Public Works to investigate the feasibility of and advocate for the modification or removal of the concrete channel? The BFI project demonstrated four critical insights for the Arroyo Seco's future. First, the Arroyo's canyon geography makes stream restoration and channel modification feasible in certain locations. The BFI project demonstrated this principle by diverting water to a low-flow channel, which successfully restored high-quality habitat in the original channel area, though ongoing maintenance has been inadequate. Secondly, as the concrete channel continues to age and deteriorate, it becomes increasingly vulnerable to catastrophic flooding, especially given today's extreme weather patterns driven by climate change. Restoring a more natural stream could significantly enhance flood control capacity. 3. Stream naturalization would revitalize riparian corridor and coastal sage scrub ecosystems. Most significantly, it would enable the return of steelhead trout to the Arroyo Seco by removing barriers that currently prevent resident rainbow trout from migrating downstream to the LA River and the Pacific Ocean, a key step towards restoring the watershed's historical ecology. And fourth, building on the recreational spaces already created in part by the BFI project, further naturalization would expand much-needed access to nature and open space in our heavily urbanized area. The future of the Lower Arroyo is unresolved. Will Pasadena restore the natural stream in the arroyo for all to enjoy, or will it just junk it up with more concrete, pipes, and plumbing? Here's the beautiful vision of the Upper Los Angeles River and Tributaries Working Group for the Lower Arroyo. We hope you will join with us to restore the nature of the Arroyo Seco for future generations.